What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Conversation, a Cross-Point City Young Adults podcast created to help young adults know and follow Jesus. My name's Darian, and we got Ansley and Carlos.
Why you say it like that?
I liked it.
Ansley and... That's how you know y'all friends, because you support everything she said.
I hype her up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you,
I like
Darian.
it. Oh,
Hey,
it's cool. Yeah.
Ansley's a good friend.
You're a good friend.
Wow.
You too, Carlos.
Carlos, you might as well just scoot back and just let us,
What
have a
the?
little friend
Okay.
moment.
Gosh, man. All right. So welcome to the podcast, The Conversation, young adult podcast. And tonight we're going to talk, well, not tonight. Today we're going to talk about why young adults are staying single longer. Okay. And we thought it'd be a good episode to talk about because we talked about it in the sermon, and there's so many different reasons why people are staying single longer, and we kind of just wanted to chop it up. Are you guys cool with that? Discussing all that good stuff?
Yeah.
All right. So why do you think more young adults are staying single longer in today's society? What are the reasons? What do you think?
Do you want the raw answer or the raw answer?
I
I think they just want to have sex.
what the?
She
Straight
went
up.
there.
Like,
Yeah.
I think they just want to have sex with anyone. They don't want to be tied down. Not
Yeah.
everyone. Let me just preface that. I don't think everybody's like that. But
Not everybody, just 97% of the
yeah.
population.
But I just think in today's society, hookup culture is a real thing. I
Yeah.
think we're so easily, I guess we just have this constant, I just think of social media, how there's things constantly grabbing for our attention that we get bored easily. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ansley, you want to add anything to that?
She said it real well.
Yeah, people just want to have sex.
There you go. There's that.
Also, I just think people are misinformed too. I think our society is getting less and less Christian, so that's also pushing for people to stay single longer because they see marriage and relationship as a burden. And if they do get into a relationship, it's mostly about them.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe like people are just misinformed and misguided, that they don't really understand what a real relationship is. And they probably, 50% of our population, close to, have, seen a divorce,
They've
right?
seen
Or been
broken
part of a divorce.
relationships.
Yeah. So why would they want to be part of that? And so at least that's why I'm thinking, but also like hookup culture.
Yeah.
I read some stats from the sermon, in the sermon about Tinder. And like what they say,
Not
like
Tinder.
single people just want to be single because they want to go after their career. They want to go after what they want. They don't want to split their time. They don't want to give to other people, right? And a relationship is really you giving to someone else, giving of your time, your treasures, your talents, just everything that you got. And so I just think that people are more selfish now than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And people have been saying, go into it. Like, go, be selfish. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So-
And even to piggyback off that, I would say there's a lack of understanding that love is an action and a choice, not always a feeling.
Yeah.
And so there's always this follow your heart. Yeah, how's that working out for you?
Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so we kind of talked about some of the cultural factors that influence the decision to remain single, but we talked about hookup culture, right? So let's just try to break that down. Hookup culture is what? Just so people, if they don't know the terminology, it's really simple.
Well, like I said before, having sex.
Yeah.
Or just hooking up for anything, okay?
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah,
Well,
people are hooking up just to hook up.
Yeah.
Obviously it ends up to getting hot and heavy in that aspect.
Yeah.
But then another one we got down here is pornography.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe that porn has really impacted the way we see relationships, and it's really impacted why we stay single longer. I think it's made men cowards. It's made men not want the real thing if they can go get whatever they want online, and they've just settled for fake love. And so, people are staying single longer is because, one, they're staying at home.
Yeah.
And they're not meeting people. They're doing whatever they want to do and with whoever they want online. And so I believe that that's impacting us. And then what about social media?
Can I add a little bit more to pornography
for
before we
sure.
switch to social media? I would even speak from because I've been the girlfriend whose significant other was addicted to pornography, and I want to speak to even the side of part of the reason I stayed single is because I was like, I don't want to deal with the hurt of being compared to what my significant other is watching.
Yeah.
And so I think that even the hurt is a major factor that goes into that.
Oh, for sure.
But,
But people think that what they do alone won't affect you know, what goes on in their outside life
Yeah.
and what
That means
everybody
a
else
lot.
sees. But I agree. I definitely agree with that. So let's talk about social media. I think social media is a big part
Yeah.
of why people are staying single longer. Why do you think?
You can compare to other people's relationships and just have impossible standards. So, you know, there might be a great guy in your life, but if he's not absolutely perfect or like the people you see on social media, you're just like, it's okay. Does that feel true?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people compare their like immediate circle to
Yeah.
their grand social media circle, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't line up, and it's like, oh, you don't look like that guy or you don't look like that girl, so
Yeah.
I don't want to date you. You know, you're not Instagram worthy or whatnot. And
Yeah.
so, no, I agree.
Even from an introspective perspective, it's a lot of ifs
Yeah.
with words. But I would say the social media side too, and you guys kind of touched on this, you're comparing yourself to those people. And so there's insecurities within yourself that's causing you of, oh, well, I'm not worthy to be in a relationship, or I'm not worthy of love because I don't look like, act like, make as much money, whatever that thing is, as the people I'm seeing on social media.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even the self-comparison can impact your desire, or I don't want to say ability to be in a relationship, but does it kind of make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, what I'm hearing you say is that technology is impacting our relationships and our singleness, you know, and not in a good way. And
Yeah.
so let's just chop that up for a little bit. Just know that your consumption of whatever media you got, social media, even TV. I was reading a book last night, and they said that 90% of people have watched more TV than they've read like books and stuff like that. Like it's just like a crazy stat. Like I was like blown away, like how ridiculous it was that. And then I was like, I fall in that camp that even TV has affected my in-person relationships. And I'm married, you know. But let's just talk about technology. How has technology and social media impacted relationships and singleness? You know, what do you guys think?
You want to start, Ainsley, or you want me to go?
You go. I'm still thinking on that.
I would say, and we kind of touched on this earlier with the boredom aspect, but there's just this mentality of hoping for the next best thing rather than investing in who is right in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I just feel like we're just so focused on social media. We're so focused on what's going on, like pretty much on the outside of our world, like not even in our immediate circle, that it's losing focus on the people that are right in front of us. Like because we're so enamored by our phones, we're not really investing in our relationships that are around us. So we're not hanging out with our friends as much. We're spending more time on social media at night and with technology that we really aren't spending time with real people. You
Yeah.
know, like we're connected, but we're really not connected.
I have a question
Yeah.
with that. Do you think, and we kind of touched on this earlier, but do you think it's a fear-based thing too? Like people get comfortable in the behind the screen and being by themselves, and they don't want to get out of that comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit. I mean, I also just think that we've gotten too comfortable with the social media thing. Like we literally every gap of time that we have, we check our phone.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't help us. You know, like we're not talking to people. Like if you walk into a store and people are waiting in a line, they're no longer like looking to talk to people around them. They're just on their phones. You know?
We grew up in it. I got Instagram at 13 years old.
13.
Got my first account and was posting pictures.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's literally it's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
To just hop on that rather than maybe I'm thinking about like go to the young adult gathering or whatever. Are we spending time behind a screen or with things that don't matter as much as getting out there and being with people?
Yeah. And it's scary.
Yeah.
You know, it's scary that that's what we'd rather do. We'd rather be alone watching other people live their life
Numbing out.
than actually participating in life.
It's also sad. Have y'all ever been out to dinner or hang out with a friend, significant other, and all they're doing, for those of you who are listening, I'm staring at my phone. But all they're doing is staring at their phone.
I've done it, and then
Yeah, I've
after an
done it too.
event, thought, "What did I just do?"
Yeah. I mean, it makes you feel disrespected. It makes you feel uncared for, unseen.
It's
And it's kind of like,
disrespectful for
why did you even want to hang out?
Yeah.
Like, I could have been with people who wanted to actually interact with me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, it'd be so cool if we like did a challenge just to leave our phones at home for a week. and see what, like, if it would not enhance our relationships.
I think I'd
That
be a
would be a
changed person.
blessing.
I'd be blessed.
I would be blessed. I'd be like, y'all gonna figure it out. My phone's off.
But you know that they figured it out for years,
Yeah.
like we've only been living with the cell phone. I mean, when was the first text message sent in the 90s, right? Or in the early
know.
2000s
I
or
was
something
born in
like
the
that?
90s, I don't
So
know.
I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s, but I'm not pretty sure. I'm 75% sure. But just think about it, like, we've lived so long without being so connected to people that, we can go times without being so connected to work and everybody else, especially on social media, like, where we only get highlights. We don't ask people what's going on in their life because we've already saw the highlight.
They're posting their best.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
And then we also compare that. Like, they're not showing us their dirt. They're showing us the vacation and
I mean,
the
some people
the
be
best
showing
time.
their dirt on social media.
Sometimes,
But-
That's a
we don't
different
follow
conversation
that.
now.
Just play. I'm joking.
It's funny.
Well, cool. All right. So, how can understanding these cultural dynamics help singles navigate their season better? So, learning that these can be hurdles, right? And understanding, like, hey, this can impact your relationships and your singleness. How can this understanding help single people, young adults, right, in relationships or in their singleness, better navigate it? What do you guys think? I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think knowing that social media will impact your relationships, knowing that pornography will impact the way you see people and the way you interact in relationships, I think you can better guard. All right. So you can say no to the pornography, and then you can guard your time on social media. Because I don't think social media is bad, but when it becomes the only thing that we do to connect with people, I believe it becomes a bad thing.
Yeah.
And so when we understand that technology can impact our relationships in a negative way, not a good way, I think we can be aware of it. And so that awareness can really help us navigate these waters because everyone is on there.
Yeah.
And so for us, like, just finding some good time to Sabbath, it's crazy that goes back to the biblical times that God said rest. Like, find times to get away from your phone, because if not, you're going to wake up and you're going to be 35, 40, 60, whatever, and you're going to be alone, but you're going to feel like you've been connected because all you've been looking at is social media.
That's a nightmare.
You need to go out and live your life and stop looking at or living through other people's life on social media. So I think understanding that it can impact you in a negative way, with that awareness, you can better live out your singleness and learn how to thrive. Because think about it, when we talked about in the sermon, none of the rhythms that you needed to build were build a good rhythm on social media, build a good rhythm online, build a good rhythm with technology. No, it was build a good rhythm with God, build a good rhythm with people, invest in good relationships, serve, give, rhythm of gratitude. So, like, if you want to learn that, you have to be aware of the bad things that can impact you. So that's the first thing that came to mind. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, as you were talking, I guess just understanding the cultural dynamics and how that helps singles navigate their season of singleness, I would say just knowing that doing it the world's way is not going to work.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's the biggest thing is watch your friends that aren't in Christ-centered relationships. Watch your friends that aren't, or just people in your life who aren't running after Jesus, and look at the way that does it make sense what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I would also say it should help encourage you that boundaries are good.
Yeah.
Knowing that the world's way of dating and marriage and all those things just isn't fruitful a lot of times. It's not a thriving dynamic. That's where boundaries, like, stand firm in your boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand firm in them. Boundaries are healthy. And I would encourage the people that push back against your boundaries and don't respect them, you probably need to build more boundaries with those people.
Yeah. I agree.
When you were saying look at your friends who are living in a worldly way, were you meaning, like, look at that and see how it's not serving them?
Yeah.
Like, how the world's way is not working?
Yeah, because whether it was my own relationship when I was dating was a believer, or people that I know that have or are dating unbelievers, there's just not a peace. Like, they're constantly, man, should I be in this relationship? Am I doing the right thing? Like, they're constantly questioning it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that doubt is the answer that it's probably not for you.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, you just look at their life and you can tell like they're not winning. Like go look at the friend who hooks up with somebody every weekend. Like they're not happy. You
Talk about
know,
their friend, yeah.
They're never getting into a real intimate relationship. They're just kind of everything's just surface level. So if you look at that, they're not happy and they tell you.
And they have a longing for more.
Yeah. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. So I think just witnessing that and being aware of that, and also not wanting that would be good.
Yeah.
So Ainsley, I think this question, and we'll close like this: how can being in biblical community combat the shifts of our culture? So how can being in a small group, having godly friends, help you combat these things that are happening in our culture and our culture shift?
Yeah, I think my community and my small group, we help each other keep our eyes on the prize. So we fix our gaze on Jesus and help each other run our race well. So we weekly remind each other of what the main thing is and what is so important. And we through testimonies and through our stories are able to share with each other how those things are going to not lead to life, but they're going to lead to death. They're not going to serve us. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's good. I feel like that's exactly what community can do for you. It's a good reminder. It's a good encouragement. Like we've all seen the benefits of community, especially in the toughest seasons. Singleness, I know for some people that's like a tough season, but there are other seasons in your life when you lose a loved one, or you're just going through something hard at work, or just going through a season of anxious thoughts and all these things. Community helps you.
Yeah.
And so community can help you in your singleness. It can help you in your relationship. It can help you when you're married and all these things. Like community is good for you in every season. So I think being in community will definitely combat the shifts in our culture. So
just
anything you
wise
want to add to that?
counsel.
No, I think y'all dropped some wisdom.
Awesome. Well, hey, with that being said, we were glad that we could talk about it. Tune in for the next episode as we talk about overcoming the challenges of singleness. With that being said, hey, we love you. We're here for you, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.